So, did you know that the foundation of this land, called Pakistan, that Pakistanis so proudly call our own, the foundation for it was laid by a writer and a poet in a pamphlet back in 1933. That's the power of literature, and that's the power that we often neglect. Literature has the power to give birth to countries like ours. My name is Asad Shabir, and I'm joined by Kiran Masood. She's my co-founder. We both love to read, we love to write, and we love stories, so I think it's appropriate that we begin with one. Our story starts in 2013 when we both joined LUMS as freshmen. Kiran preferred to read, but I had a liking to writing. So I had practiced writing stories before coming to LUMS, and those stories got quite large and larger and larger, and they eventually ended up as, okay, there's a slide missing. So they were published as novels. My first novel was called Dio Sole, and then I followed that up with another publication in 2012. But when I came to LUMS, I wanted to keep my streak going. 2011, 2012, in 2013, I wanted to publish my third novel. So I wrote my third novel, and I really liked my third novel because after making mistakes in my first two novels, I realized how to not make those mistakes and write something really good. So I wrote something and I was very proud of it, and then I said, let's go publish this. I spoke to what I considered were the titans of the industry. I spoke to Mohsen Hamid, I spoke to Bilal Tanveer, who's an instructor here, and I did my research on how to get published because I couldn't find agents like I could in Germany. In Pakistan, that entire infrastructure just didn't exist. My research brought me to this conclusion. I was a Pakistani writing about Pakistan, for Pakistan, with revenues coming from Pakistan, and my book was going to be published in India. That scared me. That honestly scared me because as a Pakistani, it was just disappointing that I did not have access to the publishing opportunities that other people did. And while we focus a lot, on getting ourselves away from the international event of Pakistan and promoting things like tourism, promoting film, promoting music, we neglected our literary heritage. This morning we were told that Lahore is a city which is over 4,000 years old, and literature can trace its roots all the way back 4,000 years. Music and film can't. But we have neglected literature so much, and we have focused on building Pakistan Idol. We have focused on making our film industry thrive, but we've never put any focus, and we've never even given the slightest bit of attention into reviving our literary heritage. And then there were people like me, I felt like that, I'm sure a lot of other people felt like that, when they realized that writing and publishing your own book was an impossible feat in Pakistan. And to make that impossible feat a possible one, we started ChaiChalk. ChaiChalk is an internet digital media company with aspirations to provide as many publication opportunities to young Pakistani writers as possible. Obviously, if somebody older wants to publish, that's also a thing, but we're focusing on young Pakistani writers because, believe me guys, there's a lot of talent in this country. Even in this university, we have at least 60 to 70 very, very good writers who just don't write because they know that they can never actually have what they be read by a larger number of people. So ChaiChalk has three parts to it. The first part is our web experience. We launched our website in October. It's a beautiful website. We recently redesigned it. We put up short stories, prose, fiction, poetry. We have categories like entertainment, culture and arts, politics, fiction, and poetry. And we recently introduced a really cool new category called taboo. Now, taboo is something which is kind of scary because things we talk about there can be deemed as slightly controversial. So we have people writing in about minorities. We have people writing in about certain confessions or certain things that have happened to them in Pakistan that they can't publish with their name attached to it. So this has given people a voice. This has given people from different walks of life a place to just write and get feedback by other writers. And then recently we realized that Pakistan has two primary languages. One of them is English, the other one is Urdu. Well, Sindhi, Punjabi, Pashtun, there's a lot of different dialects. But the primary one, as per the constitution, if I'm not mistaken, is Urdu. And when it comes to Urdu, a lot of the different websites which have Urdu on them, like Jung, which is a huge publication in Pakistan, what they do is they use the Farsi or they use the Arabic script and they make pictures out of whatever they want to say and they upload those pictures up. So what that does is that while it's great, first of all, it doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good and it's not mobile friendly. But the second problem is that Google doesn't know that Urdu exists. And Urdu, when spoken, is the same as Hindi more or less, and it's a language shared by over 1 billion people. So, and which is 1/7 of the world population. There's a large number of Urdu speakers and people who engage with that language every day. So it's kind of disappointing that it doesn't exist on the internet. So what we did was using the Nastaliq script, which I think takes its roots from Lahore. We built our own script for Urdu, and for the first time, I'm sure other people have done this, but for the first time, we deployed this on our website as a test, and then across different WordPress coding systems. So what we've done is, if you go on ChaiChalk, we're putting up Urdu content slowly, and we found a way to digitize Urdu content, because normally if I ask for content, English content would be emailed to me, Urdu content is given to me in a bunch of papers. We found a way to digitize it, and all the content which is in Urdu, you can actually select it, you can copy it, you can paste it, and you can chuck it into Google, and it will give you search results. So every time Google crawls your website, it says, hey, there's a bit more Urdu that exists on the internet. And that's essentially what we're working towards. So far, we have 30,000 monthly readers. We have over 200 pieces of fiction, which come from over 50 writers, 10 of which are international. And we have over 300 ChaiChalk accounts. ChaiChalk accounts are essentially if anyone wants to publish themselves or submit something, whether it's something written, whether it's a song they wrote or sung, whether it's calligraphy, whether it's art, whether it's anything that falls within the literary domain, which is not restricted to old dusty books of Iqbal, you can just create an account, you can submit it, and that goes to our editorial board, which consists of not us, because we aren't really judges of anything, but it consists of people who are good writers, people who understand calligraphy and intricate art behind certain art forms, and they can truly be the best judge, and whether they approve it or not is up to them. So that's our sort of moderating factor on making sure our content is good. And we've only been operating for 5 months. ChaiChalk is a company which started in October, so we've barely scratching 5 months. So there are 3 divisions that I want to talk about quickly. The first one is our online experience, which we already talked about, but it's being repeated for some reason. The slides are broken, I'm sorry. So when we started ChaiChalk, we wanted to focus on driving maximum social impact. When you have influenceability, when you can influence people, when you have a reachability, when you have a large post reach, it's your responsibility to make sure that that influence is used appropriately. And it would not be used appropriately if it were not used to spread messages of universal peace. So when we launched, this is October 18th, night 0, when we were all sitting in our cafeteria and we all had laptops and we were all coding our first website. We launched Profile for Peace, which was just people coming up, can you go back? On our chalkboard, which was our first company asset. And we wrote, I'm a Pakistani and I do not hate India. Hashtag ChaiChalk, hashtag Profile for Peace. And this got us into Times of India, this went quite viral. But this is very much the foundation of our entire operations, where we wanted to use our power to have large campaigns and to lobby for social activists. Later on, during the Ashura break, which is there was a lot of religious processions happening in different parts of the country. There was a bomb attack in Jacobabad, which killed 40 people. So for that, we had a vigil. Here at LAMS, it was pretty casual. We asked everybody to come together and say a few words, prayer or two. These are just pictures from that. And then the earthquake happened. Now, for the earthquake, what we wanted to do was have a campaign which sort of engaged the entire city of Lahore into raising funds for the people affected. There were, the city that we targeted, there were 11,000 houses there and all of them had been demolished. On an average of 3 people per house, there were 33,000 people who were affected. So we raised 2.3 million rupees in collaboration with the Student Council in engaging the city of Lahore and going out and getting funds and then sending all of that to Shanga under the Pakistan Army. Here are some of the pieces that we've had so far. We've got, this is a Telugu piece written by Hassan Athar, he was just here a minute ago. So this piece is about, Bangladesh. We have fiction pieces. We've got fiction pieces, social commentaries, poetry pieces, political analysis, investigative feature pieces on, different movies and different art forms upcoming in the industry. This is a feminist take on Mulan, and this was an assignment done at LUM. So a lot of the assignments that we do and the essays we do, they also categorize, they're classified as content. So why not actually use them and put them out to a wider market? And this was a photo essay where, this is one of my pieces, where I walked through a Kachi Abadi, which is a slum. And these people don't have any legal rights. They're sort of just staying there. If the government wants to take that land, they can. And I walked around with my camera and I talked to a few people in a very Humans of New York type style. And this garnered a lot of attention because we've never seen Humans of New York. He's come to Pakistan, but we've never seen many, linked pictures come out of places like Kachi Abadis in the Humans of New York context. And this was an investigative feature which sort of is the hallmark of and a testament to why I'm standing here today. And that's because Pakistan is a country which has readers, but it does not have books. And we want to provide books. These are again old slides. We've also had commercial events. We had our pilot a few, workshops. We've been conducting workshops across a series of different schools around Lahore. This was in Beacon House in GCU. We've gone to a few other schools in order to raise awareness and get more people on board. We also had our pilot, which was an open mic poetry slam, and which this event sort of harnessed the power of the spoken word to bring together poetry. And this is something which has not been done in Pakistan that much, but we wanted to introduce it to a wider audience. So commercially speaking, this was great, and from the point of view of social impact, there were 150 to 160 people which we engaged who witnessed something new that day. This is our network, this slightly dated version of our network. We've got people in a lot of different schools and universities across Pakistan. And then also we're targeting Pakistani diasporas around the world. So you have a lot of people from University of Chicago, Queen Mary, HKU, who have seen our content, have engaged with our content, and want to help build more content in order to read, revive, and make the Pakistani society a literary one. Thank you very much, and please enjoy the rest of the Mela. We're done hijacking.